But now we talked earlier about the importance of starting with a recognition that barriers do exist. They always exist. And so really getting curious about what those look like and working with your team. And this might involve, I mean, this can be a great exercise because it brings in team members to really contribute to what the barriers for members might be. But we've seen some that look like this. And so this is like a great brainstorm on a whiteboard with your team. But I'm healthy. I certainly don't need a flu shot. And I'm not going to read each one of these, but just to pick a couple out here. I don't like getting shots, or I don't trust getting shots. I can't afford a medical bill. I can't get to the doctor's office. All of these things would absolutely be ones that we would hear from members if we were to just say, hey, get your flu shot. Either in the back of their mind or in spoken word, they would be sharing things like these quotes. So we can then sort of bucket them into what we know are these categories. Like we're seeing misconception about the nature of, in this case, the flu shot. There are always fear elements when it comes to healthcare, whether that be a literacy fear, whether that be a pain fear, or if there's an outcomes fear. There's convenience and there's access, there's location, there's cost. But starting to really get a sense of what are the nature of barriers out there, and then which ones do we want to address. And what that immediately maps over to are those same barriers as written at the left, and then a brainstorm on what could the messaging look like to overcome those barriers. It may only take a sentence, it may only look like one statistic, but you've got the opportunity here to turn this letter into a barrier addressing communication that is alleviating fear and lowering the walls between the member and participating in this particular action. So a little goes a long way here, especially when we're distributing out to tens of thousands of people. So a great one just to use as an example, again, if you've got this when you receive the materials, you'll know exactly how to plug and play what different barriers for different members or different actions sound like, and then what some of the messaging can look like there. And then all we're doing is making sure that we're layering those things in to the communication that we develop itself. So now we've done the exercise of acknowledging barriers. We've done the exercise of how we want wording that really feels like it addresses those barriers. Now, how do those fit into the form factor of a piece of correspondence? And so I always call these like our John Madden versions of slides of like, we're running a play, and we're running a play through the copy and through the design of the letter that's being sent to a member. In this case, it's not just, okay, here's the contact number, here's a really nice, friendly introduction, but we're actually leveraging principles that we know attack pain points that reduce participation, and we're going after them specifically. So this is just a savvier way to get more out of the exact same cost on that distribution, but we've now done so in a way that's loaded up with behavioral principles, behavioral science, and we know empirically has a better opportunity to get people to participate and improve their state of health.